Santa was real. Hey folks, Mad Cat here. Welcome to the channel where we talk about politics, faith, current events, and controversial topics. When we picture Santa Claus, we tend to think of the red suit, the reindeer, the sleigh, the North Pole operation. But prior to all that, a historical figure laid the foundation of that legend. So let's break down who Santa was, where he came from, and how a real man from ancient times turned into a global icon. Yes, it's true. St. Nicholas was a real person. Born into a wealthy Christian family in the Eastern Roman Empire around 270 AD, Nicholas of Myra received a strong religious upbringing and a formal education typical of Roman elite. His parents passed in his late teens, leaving him with a large inheritance. Nicholas gained a reputation early on for being stoic and disciplined and unusually pious. He entered formal church service in early adulthood as a cleric. Instead of living the pampered life of the Roman elite, Nick chose a modest existence. Simple clothing and fasting, minimal possessions, all while giving away most of his wealth through anonymous acts of charity. In one of his most noble gestures, he secretly provided money to a destitute family to prevent the daughters from being sold into slavery. By his early 30s, Nicholas was selected as the Bishop of Myra, largely due to widespread respect and trust the community felt towards him. See, Nicholas wasn't royalty, he wasn't some great philosopher or a legendary warrior. He was a Christian bishop, and he became well known for his exceptional generosity. But for all of his kindness, Nick was not a weak man. At the Council of Nicaea, the most important Christian gathering in early church history, discussion over biblical doctrine between Nick and a heretic named Arius became so heated that Nick walked across the room and punched him. Yeah, the man who inspired Santa Claus was generous, he was respected, and he was absolutely willing to throw hands. By the time he died in 343 AD, Nick was already viewed as a selfless protector of the poor, of children, and of the vulnerable. And after he died, the legend only grew. People claimed he saved sailors from raging storms, he multiplied grain during famines, and secretly delivered gifts at night. He became one of the most popular saints in the entire Christian world. Over the centuries, Nicholas became a universal symbol of generosity, protection, and kindness. There were a number of depictions of Saint Nick across different cultures. In the Netherlands, he became Sinterklaas. He was depicted as a tall man in bishop's robes, he rode a white horse, and gave presents to kids on December 5th through 6th. In England, there was Father Christmas. This interpretation focused more on feasting and good cheer. In Germany and Scandinavia, Nicholas was associated with old winter spirits, bearded men who roamed during midwinter and watched over families. The gift-giving, the winter season, and a mysterious night visitor theme showed up in many forms. When Dutch immigrants brought Sinterklaas to New York in the 1600s, his name gradually morphed into Santa Claus. Santa Claus as we know him today was beginning to take form, amplified by a simple yet powerful piece of poetry. In 1823, Clement Clarke Moore authored A Visit from St. Nicholas, better known as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. The poem introduced a jolly, round figure, flying reindeer, a sleigh, gift-giving, and a chimney entry route. This poem alone transformed Santa from legendary bishop to magical gift courier. In the 1860s, political cartoonist Thomas Nast gave Santa a red winter suit, a workshop headquartered at the North Pole, a list of who is naughty or nice. Santa was quickly becoming a cultural icon. By the early 20th century, Santa's image in the United States was universally recognized. There was one final force that locked it in: Coca-Cola. In the 1930s and 40s, Coca-Cola hired Haddon Sundblom to create ads featuring Santa. These depictions are the exact Santa we picture today: a beard, a big red suit, jolly demeanor, and rosy cheeks. From movies to Christmas cards, the Coca-Cola Santa is the version everyone recognizes. Santa Claus is a 1,700-year-old story built on a real bishop, compounded by legends, tradition, and imagination. But beneath all the layers, the core idea hasn't changed much at all. Santa represents generosity, compassion, and hope. This is exactly who Nicholas of Myra was in real life. The magic stuck because the man behind it lived it. Thanks for watching, folks. Comment, like, and subscribe for more content. Merry Christmas. Mad Cat out.